The story opens with a woman named Arlen, who is now known as a prisoner with the code BB5040. Arlen officially becomes prisoner number 5040 inches, a prison called Bad Batch. This prison is located in a desert area and uses an open system with no clear supervision. The place is known to be brutal because the prisoners are left to survive on their own. There are no real rules that apply, and even American law does not reach that area. While walking alone in the middle of the desert, Arlen finds a badly damaged car. She gets inside the car to take shelter for a while, but not long after, she sees another vehicle approaching. Fear immediately kicks in, making her run away in a hurry. Unfortunately, her effort is useless. She is caught by two women who arrive in that vehicle. When she regains consciousness, she is already chained up and at a base camp in that area. Not long after, a woman arrives. That woman injects her arm and then, without hesitation, cuts off one of her hands. It doesn't stop there. The woman also cuts off one of her legs, leaving her in shock and powerless. After that, her body is prepared to be cooked as food. It turns out they are long-time prisoners who survive by eating the flesh of other prisoners, especially new ones. That night, she tries to find a way to avoid losing more parts of her body. She deliberately defecates as much as possible, then smears her body with it. The method works because the next day, a woman named Lana feels disgusted and decides to bathe her. While Lana goes to get water, she secretly grabs a crowbar. When Lana comes back and is about to bathe her, she immediately attacks her until she is helpless. The act is also witnessed by another victim who is chained up. After that, she tries to drag her body while hiding so the cannibal prisoners won't notice her. Not far from there, she finds a skateboard. She uses it to help herself move faster away from the base camp. Her condition gets worse because she hasn't eaten or drunk anything, leading to dehydration from the desert heat. Luckily, not long after, someone arrives, pushing a cart. The mysterious person carries her on the cart, traveling quite a long distance. That person then takes her to a place that matches a brochure she once saw, a place called The Comfort. When she arrives, she is greeted by a guard at the entrance, while the mysterious man who helped her leaves without saying anything. 5 months later, her condition has changed a lot. From previously looking messy, she now appears more well-kept. She even uses a prosthetic leg and has her own place to live. All this time, she earns money by helping people in the Comfort who are busy trading. The place has become a kind of settlement for prisoners who still want to live more decently, even though they are serving sentences for various crimes. On the other side, a large man with an intimidating appearance appears, named Miami. Miami is the leader of the cannibal base camp that once held her captive. Even though he looks scary, he actually cares deeply for his child. He also has another side as a painter and even often cooks by himself in the kitchen every night. Unlike the Comfort, which is more organized, in his base camp, new prisoners are treated like livestock and their flesh is used as food to survive. As time goes by, she is now able to buy a pistol, which is available in the Comfort area. Carrying the pistol, she decides to walk back toward the desert, as if there is something she needs to finish. In another place, Miami's child goes with one of the handlers to a dumping area to look for items that can still be used. The location turns out to be not far from the Comfort. At the same time, she sees a vehicle that was once used when she was captured. She then follows that direction until she arrives at the dumping area. There, she finds a prisoner from the cannibal base camp along with a small child who turns out to be Miami's child. Without saying much, she immediately shoots the prisoner because of her revenge. Meanwhile, she does not hurt the child because the child is innocent. After that incident, the man who once helped her realizes that she is bringing a small child back to the Comfort. When they arrive, she learns that the child wants to have a rabbit. She buys one for the child. Even though she is known as a prisoner, she still has a sense of care, especially toward children. After that, she brings the child to her place to stay with her for a while.
My name's Arlen.
On the other hand, Miami has been waiting for quite a while and starts to feel suspicious. He worries that something has happened to his child, so he finally decides to go after them. When he arrives at the location, he doesn't find his child. He only sees that his subordinate is already dead. He then asks the helper, who turns out to be a mute scavenger. The man understands that Miami is looking for his child, but since he knows Miami is good at drawing, he asks him to draw him first as a condition before giving any information. For the sake of his child, Miami agrees to the request. It doesn't take long, the drawing is finished, and from that, Miami finally finds out that his child was taken to the Comfort. Meanwhile, Arlen starts getting close to Miami's child, whose name is Honey. At night, she takes Honey out for a walk to enjoy the night market atmosphere. In the middle of the crowd, the leader of the Comfort appears, known as the Dream. He is known for his free leadership style, even creating his own currency used for transactions in that area.
Let me tell you something of us here. Healthy enough. Well,
Arlen, who is drawn into the party atmosphere, gets carried away and doesn't realize that Honey has gotten separated from her while chasing a rabbit that escaped. The rabbit runs toward the Dream, so Honey ends up meeting him and his wife. Honey is then taken into the house without Arlen knowing, as she is still at the party. Meanwhile, Arlen, already drunk, leaves the settlement to enjoy the desert atmosphere, not realizing that Miami is secretly following her from behind. The next day, when Arlen wakes up, she is already in an open area. She realizes that her leg support has been taken by Miami, who is standing in front of her. He immediately asks about his child's whereabouts. However, she answers that she has never seen the child. Hearing that, he forces her to find his child in the Comfort, alive. If his child is not found or is already dead, then her life will be the replacement. Not long after, someone approaches them with a barter offer. The person offers 1 jerry can of gasoline in exchange for Arlen to be used as food. Miami seems to agree to the offer, but it turns out to be a trick. When the man tries to take Arlen away, Miami immediately kills him. From that, Miami actually gets many things, including the gasoline and parts of the man's body to take with him. Even when Arlen goes into the bushes, she is still being watched by him. At night, they rest in the middle of the desert while roasting parts of the man's body. In that situation, Arlen gets curious and asks why Miami ended up in prison. He explains that he was imprisoned for being an illegal immigrant from Cuba to the United States since the age of 13. After that, Arlen asks him to show the code on his neck. Secretly, she tries to take his knife, but Miami shows no fear and instead presses the knife against his own stomach. Suddenly, someone shoots Miami from a distance. The shooter turns out to be one of the prisoners who managed to escape from the Cannibal base camp. The man then takes a motorcycle and brings Arlen back toward the Comfort. It turns out the prisoner who brings Arlen is prisoner number 5884. That number makes Arlen realize that in just a few days, the number of prisoners has increased by around 800 people. From that, she starts thinking about how she could truly be free if the number of people entering a place like the Comfort keeps increasing every day. The next day, the helper accidentally finds Miami lying helpless. The man, once again, chooses to help him. He then hunts a crow for food and slowly begins to treat Miami's wounds. At this point, it can be said that the man has saved 2 people at once, Arlen and Miami. Meanwhile, Arlen keeps trying to find Honey by asking other prisoners. However, no one knows where she is. Until one day, when Arlen is almost giving up, she sees Honey walking with the Dream's wife. The child looks like she is being treated very well, even like her own child. Honey is spoiled with various facilities available in the Dream's house. In another place, Miami prepares to continue his journey without the helper. Even so, he doesn't forget the man's help and shows his respect. Before parting ways, they exchange something simple. The man gives a toy, and in return, he gets Miami's knife. Back to Arlen, she decides to go to the dream's house, which is heavily guarded by women. There, it is seen that the dream has many wives, and all of them are pregnant. Even though he already has many partners, he still feels unsatisfied and keeps looking for other women. Arlen appears as if she is interested in becoming part of his life.
They stand in their shit.
Not long after, the dream tells one of his wives to prepare a special room for Arlen, but actually, Arlen has no intention of becoming his wife. Instead, she carries out her own plan. She takes the dream's newest wife hostage as a way to get Honey back. On the other hand, the dream makes his wives act as armed guards, even though they are pregnant. In the end, Arlen's plan works. The dream allows Honey to leave with her, even though he feels disappointed with Arlen's actions. For safety, Arlen asks the wife to escort her to the gate. After that, she leaves the comfort with Honey. After leaving the comfort, Arlen finally meets Miami again, who looks very relieved to see his child. He then tells Arlen to return to the comfort because, according to him, their business is done. However, she refuses because she knows the dream will not accept her anymore. In the end, Arlen decides to go with Miami and join his base camp. The decision is immediately accepted by him. Not long after, a small problem appears when Honey asks for food like what she used to get before. Meanwhile, Miami has nothing except the rabbit that Arlen bought earlier. In the end, the three of them eat the rabbit, even though Honey cries because she can't bear to see it.